3, 2, 1, we're live. Hello, everybody. Hello, the internet. Welcome to another Moon Eagle Tai Chi live stream workout. It's May the 3rd today, so if I'm sneezing, it's because there is a lot of pollen in the air. I do apologize. I will do my best to keep that at a minimum. And today we're going to be working again with the wood element. I do apologize that the instructional video for my wood form is not up yet because I have been waiting for a new lapel mic before I record that. And also that means that this workout I will not also be mic'd, so we'll just have my laptop's speaker microphone. So I apologize for the quality. I am still waiting on a replacement lapel mic to be sent, hopefully very soon. If not, I will email the company and let them know that is going on, and that's it. So today we'll be doing some Qigong, we'll be doing our warm-up, we'll be doing our wood form, and of course our cool down and all of that. So couple things to keep in mind is that you're going to want to have probably some water close by so you can take a sip at intervals. Number one, if anything hurts, stop doing it even if I tell you to. Number two, if you feel like you're about to lose your balance, stop what you're doing, grab a hold of something, preferably not another person. If you know you're having a particularly balanced challenge day, you may want to have a sturdy piece of furniture nearby that you can grab a hold of and to be able to brace yourself on. And then don't compare yourself to anybody else, especially me. And the last thing is do as much as you can comfortably do. If you need to take breaks at any point, feel free to sit down and just observe. There is, no reason to feel like you have to do it all. And even if all you do is get through the warm-up, you're still doing a lot of good for your body. So that's really important that you go easy on yourself. Tai Chi is not something that you just pick up immediately and just can do. It takes a lot of time to get to get it into your muscle memory, to get it into your body, and to feel like you get to a level of comfort with it. And there's always going to be more that you can do to refine your movements, to make them flow better, to be in better alignment. So that said, let's go ahead and let's take a sip and get started. All right, let's bring this back and open this up. I always have to adjust this so I can get it just right. Okay, so let's begin with our feet shoulder width apart. Have a slight bend in the knees. Gently align the pelvis, the sternum, and the forehead. As you breathe, you want to breathe in through the nose, down into the abdomen. Expand upwards through the chest, and then finally, out through the mouth. And now let's bring our hands to chest level. Relax the shoulders, bring them back. Tilt the pinkies in towards the chest as you tilt the thumbs gently away. You might want to tuck the tailbone in just slightly as you then extend and lengthen the spine. So we're now standing in bear, embraces the tree. And I always do a lot of little micro adjustments when I'm in this to get my alignment just right. So I really do feel like I have sunk and become part of the earth. Deep breath in through the nose, down into the abdomen, expanding upwards, and then exhaling out through the mouth. So this is a standing posture that you can use almost like a standing meditation form. This alone is its own practice out of Qigong. Works a lot with the body alignment and proper use of the musculature. And now let's bring our hands up above, holding up the sky as this movement. Chest open, shoulders wide, palms face up, and then if you can, look up in between the palms. Keep the tailbone tucked in for this. Don't allow the buttocks to pooch out. Just breathe deeply. And now let the arms circle down. Bring them an inch or two below the navel to Dantian, your center of gravity. We're going to practice some basic weight shifts on the exhalation. Roll Dantian over to one side, making a shallow arc with the hips. Inhale, roll it back to the center and exhale. Roll to the side. Inhale to the center. And exhale to the side. Inhale, coming to the center, and exhale as you come to one side. Now, wherever Dantian goes, the weight's going to follow. So just pay attention to that. And that shallow arc that you do really helps to protect your knees from a lateral line of stress. So it's less wear and tear on the joint. Now as you come to one side, you're going to turn from the waist, pivot on the heel, and turn and look towards the wall. Inhale as you come back to the center. Exhale, shift over, turn from the waist, pivot on the heel, and turn and look towards the other wall. Inhale as you come back to the center. So inhale as you're coming to the center, and exhale as you come to the side, and then turn from the waist. If you feel any stickiness on your heel as you're turning, that means you still have weight on the side, and you don't want to have weight on the leg that you're turning. Well, let's go ahead and come back to center. Now let's bring our hands in front, curl your fingers over your thumbs, bend forward, and as you inhale, open the chest, drive the shoulder blades back, and as you exhale, make a hissing sound as you curl back in. Inhale and open. And exhale. Curl back in. Inhale and open. And exhale. Curl back in. Inhale and open. And exhale. And slowly roll up, come back to center. Take a few deep breaths in and out. And now let's bring our arms out to our sides. Make an O with your fingers and your thumbs. Let your hands drop down and just start to turn from the waist. Let the arms swing freely. Relax your shoulders. Relax your arms. Let the turning of the waist generate the movement. And now go ahead and come across the rib cage. now go ahead and come across the chest. And now give yourselves a pat on the back. And when we're hitting the chest, as we're about to come back across the chest, we're hitting lung points, and so that can make you clear your throat or cough. That's a normal response to this as we clear out the bronchial passages there. And now come back across the rib cage. And come back down to the hips. And the tailbone. And slowly come to a stop. All right, now let's bring our hands to our lower back, and we're going to vigorously rub up and down. Warming up the kidneys. And then we're going to pat down the outside of the legs, come up the inside, and circle the abdomen. And then come back again to the back. And then come down the outside of the legs, come up the inside, and circle the abdomen. And come back to the back, up and down, up and down. And then come down, and then up, and circle. Okay. Now lift one arm, take the other hand, gently tap down from the armpit to the waist. And switch sides. Now feel for the collarbones, come just below and gently tap. We're tapping on one of the endpoints for the kidney meridian here. And now come to the center of the sternum. And now come just below the chest and then out to the sides. And bring the hands in front. Become aware of the tingling in the palms, up the arms, across the shoulders, down the spine, down through the legs. Bring your hands back to Dantian and breathe in. All right, so for our balance movement today, we're going to practice the wild horse rears. One of the things as we do balance movements, we want to stay in alignment with the spine, so we don't want any tilting back or to the side. We want to be upright, and that's going to cause us to engage our core and our stabilizing muscles in the back. So that is part of the reason for doing these, is to build that strength. And it's functional strength, meaning it helps us to go about our daily lives better. So I'm going to shift over to one side, that shell arc. Inhale, come up, raise the arms, raise the other leg. I'm going to be upright in the spine. And then exhale, step down, shift over to the other side. Inhale and come up. Step down, shift over, inhale and come up. Step down, shift over, inhale and come up. Step down, shift over, inhale and come up. Exhale, as you step down, shift over, inhale and come up. And come back to center. All right, let's take a sip before we get started with our Qigong series. And we'll check to see if we have any questions or comments on the stream. So, if you're on, do say hello in the comments. I do try to check them. If you have any questions, if you need clarification on a move, I might not see it immediately, but I do check them after each section of the class so I can address that. So if you need an adjustment, you can also ask that as well. I will do my best to incorporate that. If you can't hear me for any reason, also let me know. So that is very important. So we're going to hydrate. I know we've got at least one person is watching right now. So that's good. I do these, I realize that I do these in the middle of the day, so depending on what time zone you're in, you may not be able to do the live streams, but that's why they're recorded, so that you can go back and use these as your workout whenever you need to. All right. So for our Chi Raiser today, we're going to do pressing up heaven, pressing down earth. So we're going to start with one hand, palm face up above our head, and then one hand, palm face down at the tailbone behind us. And so when we're going to, as we exhale, we're going to extend the arms and look up at the top hand, but we want to keep a bend in both arms and the elbows. We don't want to lock our joints when we do this. So as we exhale, we're going to press up and down, looking up, and then inhale, look forward as you circle the arms slowly. And then exhale, press up and down. And just like in our other movements, you want to have the tailbone just slightly tucked so that you're upright, you're not leaning back, you're not accentuating the curvature of the spine. Exhale, press up and down. Inhale, circling the arms. And exhale, pressing up and down. Inhale, circling the arms. And exhale, pressing up and down. Inhale, circling. And exhale, pressing up and down. Inhale and exhale. Again, keeping a slight bend in both elbows as you do this. Inhale and exhale. Now I like this movement because it is a really nice diagonal stretch across the back. It kind of mirrors a lot of what we do when we first wake up in the morning and we stretch, getting out of bed. So it's a very natural movement in some senses. And go ahead and come back to center. It's a nice gentle chi raiser. It really does help to create length in the spine and, you know, work out some of the knots that sometimes we get in our back. So it's also it's a simplified version of a longer move that I call White Crane Presses Up, Heaven Presses Down Earth, which involves a lot of turning and twisting of the lower body as well, which deepens that stretch and goes down and really digs into the sciatic, which is nice. But it's also very difficult to demonstrate on camera. So, and you know, depending on your level of flexibility and balance, you might not be able to do that one. So this is a nice adjusted substitute for that that most people can do. And if you have a stool, you can even do this sitting. So if you have a chair that doesn't have a back on it, doesn't have arms on it, then you can do this seated for those of you who might not be able to stand for a long time. So that's another way you can adjust this movement. Okay, so for our chi balance, we're going to do my favorite, tiger plays with ball. So come into ball holding, and as you exhale, come down the center line of the body. When the top end reaches dantian, it's going to turn face up. Inhale, bring your arms back up, and exhale, down the center line. Inhale, come up, and have your eyes kind of follow that top hand. Exhale, come down. And here they're going to switch and follow now the other hand as it comes on top. And exhale, down the center line. So inhale up and exhale down. 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 Now add a look across the shoulder as you come down. So we're starting to add just a little bit more movement in the upper torso. That's really generated from the waist. If you're comfortable with that, you can add a turn from the waist, incorporating that twisted weight shift practice we began the class with. If you're having trouble slowing down, you can use what's called the fire breath. So as you exhale, make the sound. For many years, that was the only breathing that I would do before I met my Qigong teacher. It's what my Tai Chi teacher taught us to do, basically to get us to slow down and to expel excess fire. From the mind, from the heart. So we don't burn out. But it also has this calming aspect to it. It is one of the 6 healing sounds in Qigong. So try not to think what else you have to accomplish today. just sink into this movement. And notice we're taking a lot longer with this move than we did with the prior move. This is a chi balancer. The other one is a chi raiser. So right now, as of the recording of this, I'm moving into, between spring and summer. And there's abundance of energy and chi and light. And so I spend more time doing the balancing and less of the chi raising. And this one particularly has a lot of different uses, which I'll talk about in a second when we take our break. And come back to center. All right, we're going to check comments, take a sip of some water before we get into our form practice for the day. Our wood form. Hello, Marie. I'm so glad you're joining me again. I was hoping that was you that I was seeing on the stream. I know where you are. It's the evening, so I'm glad that you've joined me again for another Tai Chi class. So Tiger Plays with Ball, the exercise that we just did, is wonderful for circulation, for blood pressure, for pain in the body. It's also good for emotional and mental stress, helps us to slow down. It also does shake loose any emotions that we've kind of got locked in our muscles or our bodies or organs. So sometimes when we're doing it, it can be a little uncomfortable as those feelings rise to the surface. It's great if we're, too tired and we want to circulate some energy, or if we're too wired and we need to slow down at the end of the day. So it's really kind of a catch-all exercise. It was one of the first moves that I learned from my teacher that just really got me hooked. So I have been practicing for 25 years, and I love Tiger Plays with Ball. So you'll see us do it a lot on the channel because it is literally my favorite move. So what we're going to be doing next is the wood form that I've put together, which I just got to show my Qigong teacher, which he was really excited about. And, we're going through this series where, eventually we'll have a form for every element, and then the ultimate practice would, of course, be to do them all. Of course, that would be very difficult to do in a live stream workout. It would be a very long live stream, which maybe we can do a special event sometime. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. It would, like I said, it would be more than an hour to do all of that, and to do it well. So, all right, we're gonna get started. I'm glad that you liked the form. Like I said, hopefully soon I'll get my new microphone so I can record the instructional on that to put that up on the channel. All right, let me reset the screen here. I have to keep clicking back between my streaming software and the YouTube webpage to read comments. So that's why I keep switching back and forth and coming up. So I had a name for this form other than the wood form, and I've forgotten what it was. But that's okay. We can just call it the wood form. Again, we begin, and this is very important. Our alignment for this is going to be real important because wood is all about growth and upward, this forward movement, this momentum of life. And it links with the season of spring and that, the growth, that explosive growth. So that's kind of what we're going for with this. So feet shoulder width apart, slight bend in the knees, gently align the pelvis, the sternum, and the forehead. And we're going to inhale, come up into bear embraces the tree for a moment. Get some nice good alignment with the spine and the head back, the shoulders open and chest open. And sink down. Now inhale, hands move up, hips move back. This is, the tree grows. And exhale, hands move down, hips move forward into the earth movement. Inhale, shift your weight to your left, turn slightly in on the right. As we come over, the right hand's going to come up and wipe the brow, the left hand's going to come up and exhale, turn from the waist, and kind of do this guarding position as you roll forward slightly. Now inhale and roll back. Have the thumbs kind of graze right behind and above the ears, making little antlers as we come around. And we're going to exhale, press forward for the deer presses through the brush. Inhale, roll back, wipe the brow with the right. Come to the side as you turn that left leg in. Shift over, turn the right leg forward, and exhale. Come down with the tailbone and the arms go out, and we're sinking the roots of the tree down. And now inhale, come up. The tree grows up from the roots. Exhale. Tree falls back to earth. Inhale, shift your weight to your right, turn in on the left, wipe the brow with the left, right hand comes up, inside, and exhale as we turn from the waist out. We're going to move into this guard position. And inhale, roll back, tracing around the ears, and exhale. Deer presses through the woods. Inhale, roll back and wipe the left brow, turn the right leg in, shift over, turn the left leg forward, and exhale. Sink down slightly for the tree sinks its roots. Inhale, come up, hands move up, hips move back for the tree grows. Exhale, hands move down, hips move forward, the tree falls back to earth. Inhale, shift your weight to your left, turn and toe in on the right. Come in and wipe the brow with the right, left hand comes up the inside, and turn from the waist, exhale, roll forward to guard on the left. Inhale, roll back, come around the ears with the thumbs, and exhale, deer presses through the forest. Inhale, roll back, wipe the brow with the right, turn the left leg in and shift over, turn the right leg forward, center your weight, and exhale, come down, the tree sinks its roots. Inhale, hands move up, hips move back for wood. Exhale, hands move down, hips move forward for earth. Inhale, shift your weight to right, and then turn in on the left and wipe the brow with the left, right hand comes up the center, and exhale, turn from the waist and roll forward to guard on the right. Inhale, roll back, trace around the ears with the thumbs, and exhale, press forward for the deer presses through the forest. Inhale, roll back, wipe the left brow, turn the right leg forward, shift over, turn the left leg forward, sink the roots down. Inhale, hands move up, hips move back for wood. Exhale, hands move down, hips move forward for earth. Inhale, shift your weight to your left, turn and toe in on the right. Wipe the right brow, left hand comes up the center line, and exhale, turn from the waist and roll forward to guard on the left. Inhale, roll back, trace around the ears, exhale, deer presses through the forest. Inhale, wipe the brow, turn the left leg forward and shift over. Turn the right leg forward. and exhale, sink the roots down. Now as I'm sinking, I'm not really sinking very far, just by an inch or two, because I don't want these knees to come out over the toes. So it's just slightly to sink your weight down, and you want to keep that back upright. Inhale. Hands move up, hips move back. Tree grows. Exhale. Hands move down, hips move forward. The tree falls back to earth. Shift your weight to right. Turn and toe in on the left. Wipe the left brow. Right hand comes up the center line and exhale. Move into guard on the right. Inhale, roll back. Trace around the ears and exhale. Deer presses through the forest. Inhale, roll back and wipe the brow. Turn the right leg forward, shift over, turn the left leg forward. Exhale. Tree sinks its roots. Inhale. Hands move back, hips move forward. Sorry. Hands move forward, hips move back for the tree grows. Exhale. Hands move down, hips move forward. The tree falls back to earth. I occasionally make some mistakes. Inhale, shift your weight to your left. Turn to on the right. Shift your weight over as you wipe the brow. Left hand comes up the center line and exhale. Roll forward to guard on the left. Now we're about 50-50 on the weight here for the legs. Just if you're wondering. Inhale, roll back. Come around the ears. Exhale. Deer presses through the forest. Inhale and roll back. Wipe the brow. Turn the left leg forward and shift over. Turn the right leg forward and come to the center. Exhale. Tree sinks its roots. Inhale. Hands move forward, hips move back. As the tree grows, exhale. Hands move down, hips move forward. As the tree falls back to earth. Inhale, shift your weight to your left. Turn and toe it on the right. I'm going to wipe the brow. Right hand comes up the center line and turn and roll forward for the guarding on the right. Inhale, roll back. Come around the ears and exhale. Press forward for the deer presses through the forest. Inhale, roll back. We will wipe the brow with the left. Shift over. Shift over. Exhale. Tree sinks its roots. Inhale, hands move up, hips move back. For a tree grows. Exhale, hands move down, hips move forward to earth. Now to finish this up, we also will come right back into bear embraces the tree and kind of stay in this for just a few breaths. And allow your hands to sink down. Okay, so I'm going to spotlight a few things in that to clarify. And trying to do that while we were in the form. I'm going to take a sip real quick. And one of the things is the tree grows, and this is something I've only kind of really keyed in on into the past year or so. I really think I was doing this movement wrong for many, many years. So I'm going to do this from the side so you can kind of see the alignment here. So from here, after we've come in, as I say, hands move forward, hips move back. Well, what I used to do was this, which of course when you do that, you're at this diagonal forward, and there's a strain on the lower back, and you really don't want to do that. You do want to move this back, but you also want to lengthen the spine as you do so. So you want to create space in between those vertebrae. So as your hands move forward, hips move back, you're almost like pointing that tailbone down between your feet. And then as you come forward, like so. Do you see that movement? So it's from here to here, which is a lot different from here to here. That's a bigger movement, but it's not necessarily better. So let's practice that. Inhale, hands move forward, hips move back. Creating space. And then coming back forward. So it's a much smaller movement. But a lot of the moves that I was taught in my forms, particularly 5 elements forms, were much subtler, much smaller movements. So smaller does not necessarily mean less powerful. So as we inhale again, hands move forward, hips move back. Exhale, hands move down, hips move forward. And just notice how that feels. Notice how that feels in the back. If you're particularly tight in the lower back, you will really feel the difference there. In fact, that was one of the things I started to do when I was having a lot of back stuff, was to practice that movement. I began to really love the tree grows. And the tree grows is actually the wood movement out of the 5 elements form, which I would love to teach you on here, but I don't have multiple cameras. I need camera operators and everything, and different views and an editor, because there's a lot of turning in that particular form. So I just took the movement out of it and built this form around it. So one of the things that's happening with this form, when we do that, like the deer presses through the woods or the forest, I haven't settled on a name for that, is, you know, we've come in, we've come down, we've brushed across, we do a lot of brushing across the brow and the side of the head. And the reason we're doing the side of the head is because the gallbladder meridian goes over the ears, and it does this little hatchback thing, and then goes down and all this. So when we come in and we're basically tracing part of it and to stimulate and then to kind of move anything excess out to get things moving. And then again, brushing as we come in to again activate that, because that is what we're doing. We're actually, this particular form is designed not just for this and the sinking and the upward movement, but also to help cleanse and move with the meridian system. So that is the structure behind it. So now when we come into the side, and these are very small, subtle movements. You know, we come in, we shift over. You know, as we come up, you know, we come in at the same time we wipe the brow. This one comes up the center, and we just kind of turn and come in. So it's this. So it's a very simple movement. It just looks more complicated because there's, you know, several things happening at once. But it's really just as simple as shifting over, turning in as we start this movement up to wipe the side here, and then come up as we roll back onto this heel, turn and open to the side. All right. So if you have questions about that, put them in the comments. I do get them, and I get alerts from YouTube. Let me check to make sure. Okay, so far so good. All right. Now we have like 15 minutes left. But the other thing that we're going to do today is we're going to work a little bit with tendons. Some extended tendon work. Wood is the element that works with the bones and the tendons in the body, as well as the liver and gallbladder. So let's bring our hands to our lower back, and we're going to circle the hips. And then we're going to reverse directions. Now we're going to lift the leg ups. Now what's interesting is that people will have no problem doing this that will struggle with the balance movement when we were doing this. And it has to do with the speed at which we're doing this. It's actually a little easier to do this faster than it would if I told you to slow down. We have to recruit a lot more muscles to keep a steady movement when we're slowing things down. All right. And now we're going to open the hips to the sides. Now please do go in your comfortable range of movement. If you feel a pull or a pain, stop. Find a range of movement that you can feel, but it's not hurtful. All right. Now let's take the hands and we're going to flex the wrist back and then switch which arm is on top each time. All right. And come forward with one foot. Whichever foot is forward, take that arm and support the back with it. The other hand is going to come up, around and back, up, around and back, up, around and back. And then turn it to the palm faces the back, then go back, up, around and down. Back, up, around and down, back, up, around and down. And now let's take the arms and we're going to turn from side to side, looking between the hands as we turn. And you don't want to do this really fast because we're going to do something in a minute that will get really confusing. We're going to look the opposite way that our hands are turning. So if you're going too fast, that becomes very confusing and you get dizzy. And now once again, look between the hands. All right. Now we're going to lean forward and we're going to slap the back of this forward knee 36 times. Wonderful. Now, other foot forward. And supports the back. And now this arm is going to come up, back, around, and down. Up, back, around, and down. Up, back, around, and down. And then turn the palm to the back and go back, up, around, and down. Back, up, around, and down. Back, up, around and down. And now again we're going to do this movement where we look between the hands as we turn from side to side. And then look the opposite way the hands are going. A lot of my students do not like this movement because they get confused. And then once again, look between the hands as you turn from side to side. All right. Lean forward. We're going to slap the back of this knee 36 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. All right. Now we're going to take a slightly wider than shoulder width stance, and we're going to come down and bring our hands in front. We're going to, and let me do this from the side so you can kind of see, come into what's called the turtle. So try to keep the back level. Look down between your hands. And we'll just hold this for a few breaths. Now come out, and we're just going to come from side to side here and stretch a little bit. All right, now let's come up from that. Now let's take the chin and draw a circle. And then draw the circle the other way. And you're probably hearing a lot of crackling. As you do this, that's normal. So now let's circle the shoulders back. And now circle them forwards. Here I thought I was going to have time to do a full tendon thing, but we're not going to actually have the time to do that. And lift them up and let them drop. And now shake the wrists forward. Turn them over. Out to the side, bounce up and down a little bit. And then let's go ahead and lean forward. Just let the arms hang, let the neck hang, let gravity pull on you. Now place your hands on your shins and tilt the head to look at the ground in front of you. Walk your hands up your thighs to your hips. Keep looking at the ground as you bring the hips forward. Look down between your feet as you bring the torso up. And then slowly bring the head back level. Always come up in stages and slowly from that forward bend. Whew. Now inhale, let the arms rise in the breath. We're going to practice silk sheets. And exhale. And sink back down. Inhaling up. And exhaling. Down. Okay, so I'll grab a chair and we'll finish up with some seated Qigong. All right, let's see how we're going. If we've got checking my comments, people like the clarification. You know, I try to do that when I can because I can't see what you're doing, but I can sort of guess or sense from years of teaching, knowing what people are going to do, what their bodies are probably going to be prone to do from habit, and what, from just my own experience with my own body. So as we sit, if you have a back to the chair, I ask that you not lean up against it. So try and hold yourself up lightly with your core. Plant both feet about shoulder width on the ground so that you can, align the pelvis, the sternum, and the forehead. Before we move into our seated Qigong meditation, just take a moment to feel how your body, is feeling in this moment. How did the practice affect it? Are you feeling, any place that's looser? Are you feeling any places that are sore or tight? As you do any sort of movement practice, you always want to assess after each movement, really, what does that do to my body? How do I feel with that movement? Sometimes it means we have to make adjustments in the movements. Sometimes it shows us, ways that, oh, if I've got this going on, this move helps with that. So, and you just have to pay attention for that. So, we're going to practice the microcosmic orbit. I'm really getting into that lately to keep things moving, clearing out the pathways. So the microcosmic orbit, goes down. I always get these flipped: the governing vessel and central meridian, and I can't remember which one is which. But the endpoints are here and here. So one of the things we do when we do this practice, we take the tongue up against the roof of your mouth as we breathe, and that closes that circuit so that the chi can flow all the way through this circuit, down the front center line of the body, down around the anus, and then back up to the crown of the head and down. And, moving different chi in and out of the different endocrine glands, and making sure there's no stagnation along that pathway. And also moving nourishment and vitality through it. So that's what we're going to do today. So to do this, you're going to picture like a little pearl down at the navel or dantian. As you close your eyes, you're going to place the tip of your tongue up against the roof of your mouth, and as you inhale, send that pearl down around the spine and up to the crown of the head. And as you exhale, let it come down the front center line of the body, back to the navel, back to dantian. Inhaling that pearl up. And exhaling the pearl down. Inhaling the pearl up. And exhaling the pearl down. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhale. And exhale. Slowly allow that image to fade. Release the tip of your tongue from the roof of your mouth. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Bring your left hand, palm face up. Inhale, circle in towards the chest, down and around. Exhale, bring it in towards the heart. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this workout. Again, you can watch it anytime that you'd like and repeat it. Let me know what you think in the comments, or if you have something that you particularly want to see on this channel as far as workouts or instructionals. So I'd like to give a big thank you to all of my patrons on Patreon for helping me to continue to do this work and being able to provide content for everyone. So if you want to support the channel, you can click the link down below and check out my Patreon. And there are 3 different tiers of support, so you can pick the one that suits your budget, or you can even just send a one-time PayPal donation if you feel moved to do so. So if you haven't already, click the subscribe, click the bell icon. If you think other people would be interested in this content, share it on social media. So if you can't do anything else to help support me, subscribe, comment, share, and that really does help the channel and help me. So until next time, peace and blessings.